Thank you very much. Today you are in Howick with the DA leader, Mr. John Steenhuisen, who's crisscrossing the province to share and explain the message of the Democratic Alliance ahead of the elections in November. We're going to speak to Mr. Steenhuisen and he's going to explain to us exactly what he's here all about. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Steenhuisen. Your message here in Howick, you addressed a community meeting, you spoke about wasteful expenditure, extravagant expenditure. And I see we're here in a guardhouse that reportedly costs about 2.7 million. Can you talk to us about that and the fact that you mentioned at a meeting that the ANC is overspending in things like bodyguards as well?
Correct. Well, I think what we're seeing here is a repeat of the trend that we saw with the stadium in the Eastern Cape and the border fence that turned out to be a washing line. What we've got behind us here is now the most expensive Wendy house in the entire South Africa, 2.7 million rand. We've had it costed, it should only have cost around 450,000 rand. A luxury home is 13,000 rand per square metre. This cost upwards of 84,000 rand per square metre. So this is exactly the wasteful expenditure and corruption vehicles that are used in a municipality to line people's pockets. And when this happens, it robs ordinary citizens of the services that they need. So just been in Mpopomeni in the same municipality where a household has been sitting with sewage running into her garden. She's asked the municipality to fix it repeatedly. They don't fix it. They say they don't have the money, but here they're spending 2.7 million rand on a Wendy house. This doesn't make sense. This government does not care about ordinary South Africans. It's for that reason as well they spend 8 million rand per VIP per year of public money, while we've got pensioners who are trying to survive on 1,890 rand a month and a child support grant of only 450 rand a month. How do you justify spending 8 million rand on a VIP, but you treat our elderly and our vulnerable with a disdain? That 1.7 billion rand that government's spending on VIP protection should be channeled back to being spent on the people of South Africa. And the only way that's going to happen is by us changing the government in a place like this. We're 9% away from winning this municipality. And the message I've been telling the people here, if you want change, you've got to vote for it. And if you want a government that's going to get things done, you've got to vote for it on the 1st of November. People have got to come out and vote to see the change that they want to see, so we can stop this wasteful expenditure and start spending money on people and not politicians.
Steenhuisen, your message here in the province comes amid the continuing controversy around the posters in Phoenix. I wonder, there are reports suggesting that maybe your popularity of the organization is going down. There are internal reports that we hear that suggest that the popularity of the DA is going down, and Mike Waters has also reportedly stepped down. How do you think the message is going to filter? You're still here, you're still hopeful maybe?
Well, it's only the media and a few commentators that are absolutely obsessed about this issue. Most South Africans have moved on, the posters are down, people are focusing on service delivery, things that make a difference in their daily lives, things that really matter to people. And the ANC and others are trying to make this election about everything else other than service delivery. But as we can see, this is where the rubber hits the road. These are the issues, the bread and butter issues that matter to people the most. We are continuing to focus on service delivery and our message of getting things done. I find it very odd that anyone would have seen that polling, because it is kept secret. Also, who's ever leaking should learn to leak accurately, because whatever they're leaking is inaccurate. Certainly not the reflection of it is. But you know what? I'm very happy for the media and the leakers to release polling that shows a downward trend, because we're going to surprise everybody on election day when this party gets things done.
Thank you very much. But before I go, can I just move over to your colleague Chris Pappas, who's a mayoral candidate here in Umgeni. Mr. Pappas, you said you're promising that one of the things that you're going to deal with is basic things like cleaning up and delivering, making sure that electricity works, because the loss of electricity gets people unemployed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we've forgotten about what local government is all about. Local government is about the street lights, the potholes, making sure that local businesses can invest in our area, making sure that we're not wasting money and that we're spending those that money on our vulnerable households. So absolutely, we need to make sure that the small budget that we have as a municipality stretches as far as possible, to make sure that investment comes back, that our tourism establishments are supported, to make sure that the vulnerable communities receive services that they actually can use and are not using water tankers and food parcels as means of survival. So we want to create a new Mngeni, an Mngeni that provides a bright future for young people and for old people in this particular community. And that starts with the basics.
That is Mr. Chris Papas talking to us, and DA leader Mr. John Steenhuisen explaining to us what the party is here to do in KwaZulu-Natal. Later on, Mr. Steenhuisen is going to travel to Chatsworth, where the same message is going to get through to his supporters. Back to you in the studio.